Hey everybody, we're back for another presentation here for Customer Appreciation Week at Softlex Company. This is a virtual jewelry making event that's happening all week long. It started yesterday, September 15th, and goes until Friday the 19th, 2025. You can watch all the presentations live on the Softlex Company Facebook page and YouTube channel. All the replays will be available after, and they'll stay up on our YouTube channel indefinitely in a 2025 Customer Appreciation Week playlist. And right now we have our friend Abby from the Bead Place here to join us. So let's take this little banner off and say hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Abby. Oh, so excited to have you with us.
Thank you. I am always excited to be here. This is what my bajillionth customer appreciation week with you guys.
I know. I think Sarah was saying this is our 5th year. So you have been here every year.
Close enough.
So give or take 5 to bajillion. But we always love collaborating with you at the Bead Place, and we do lots and lots of different events with you all year long. So we have probably done a bajillion videos together.
Yeah. Yes. It's got to be close, if not exactly 1 bajillion. Real close.
Oh, so those of you that are just joining us, hello, hello. I'm here with the wonderful Abby Berta from the Bead Place. And Abby has a real life brick and mortar bead store in addition to all of the wonderful tutorials she does on YouTube and all of the beautiful lives and collaborations she does over on, I guess, all the social media channels, Facebook and YouTube as well. So tell us a bit about you, your shop, and how they can connect with you.
Sure. Thank you. So, I have been in the bead shop life. I've been living the bead shop life for 20 years now. We have a brick and mortar bead store, as Kristen said. We are in the St. Louis area. We're actually in Illinois, so the other side of the Mississippi. We're in a city called Fairview Heights. So we're about 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis. And along with having a brick and mortar bead and yarn shop, we also are an online retailer and wholesaler of jewelry supplies and fiber art supplies. And we have a YouTube channel that has over 100 full-length video tutorials on jewelry making. So we post live videos as well and have lots of kits and projects and products that kind of all go together. So a lot of our projects feature soft flex wire. Actually, probably most of our projects feature soft flex wire because it's the best. And so I'm really, really happy to be here today.
Thank you for that. We love you and we love your support and that you've been, a Softflex user and lover and supporter for many, many years. So thank you. We appreciate you so very much. And Kay and Sarah were discussing YouTube stuff on their video earlier, and they were talking about how, we have to ask Abby what she does over there because you are like a YouTube goddess. You've been doing it for such a long time. They were talking about how they have I think Sarah has a few hundred on her personal channel, and Kay had just gotten over 1,000. I myself am trying to get to that 1,000 mark on my personal channel. But Abby, how many people do you have over there? I know that you are quite a bit.
I think it's just a little bit over 66,000.
Amazing.
Which is wild. I have no idea how it just I remember just, I don't know, 10 years ago, which seems like yesterday, thinking, oh, I'm going to hit 1,000 soon. That'll be so exciting. And then all of a sudden it just took off.
It took off. I hear that a lot. There's all of a sudden somewhere along the way, there's a tipping point, and then it kind of takes off. So I'm holding out for that. Softlex Company, obviously it does, has a good subscriber base. I think we're about 25,000 over there on YouTube now, and we're just, steadily growing all the time. But Abby has a phenomenal channel. She's been doing it for a really long time. And I know that I personally have watched quite a few of Abby's videos to learn some new techniques and some new tricks. So if you haven't been over there, be sure to check out all of the wonderful things she has there. And I think you do a lot, or I don't know if you still do, but you did at one time, you would do a kit and then you'd have a video. I don't know if that's still a process or if you have some that are still that way.
Yeah, we used to do a new kit each month. And a full-length video to go along with it. And it got to be too much for our small staff to keep up with. So we decided, let's slow it down, be a little bit more intentional about the projects and the products that we're putting out. And it seems like we kind of are working at the right speed now. So not as many or not as frequent of kits and tutorials as we used to put out. But the ones that we do put out, I really, really, really like.
Yes, I love that. That's a good point. It's good to take that time, no matter what you're doing, and like have those, like, let's reassess what's working and what's viable for us. And being a small team, like pretty much everybody that we've got on Customer Appreciation Week, I think they're all either one person shows or they're just really small teams. And so there's always a lot of seeing what your processes are doing and what's working, what's not, and how to make some little tweaks to make it make sense, because it's the bead life. You want to have a life in addition to your beads.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So we have a wonderful kit with Abby today. She's got a little, I think you said it was a luxury mini mix that she put together for everyone. And then she's also using our Pro Econoflex in the fine diameter and in the gold color. And this wasn't in the kit, but you can go grab this over at softflexcompany.com. Do you sell this at the bead place at all on its own?
We don't. No, actually,
okay.
Econoflex was a gift from you guys to me. And I tried it and I loved it. And I was like, hold on, I want to use it in this project. It's the perfect color and the perfect kind of like, words are failing me today. Not consistency. Like how stiff it is. What's that
how
word?
The feel of it is what you were looking for. Yeah.
So it feels a little bit I don't know, it just feels a little bit different than the traditional Softflex wire that I'm used to using. And so I thought it would be perfect for a project like this. And I'm excited to show you guys how you can kind of utilize it's not stiff. Stiff is not the word.
But it is a little stiff. It is stiffer than Softflex. It's not as supple as Softflex is. So it does have a little bit more of a wiry feel, I guess.
Has more body.
Yeah. It's a little more wiry, and it's a good color. It's like a pretty brassy gold, and I don't feel like it looks that great on the spool, but when you take it off and you're actually using it, it's a very pretty gold. I actually really like it. And so we have it at Softflex Company. You can pick it up in our regular beading wire section, but we also have this particular one on outlet as well. So if you want a little bit of more of a discount, go check out our outlet section. That just means that there might be something, it didn't pass our quality control in the office, which is pretty strict. So sometimes our outlet stuff is like really, really minor, the blemishes that are on it. It might have some little spots, or there might be some place where maybe the color didn't get on the nylon all the way, but it's usually very minimal. And we'll say that in the description. But also outlet is sold as is. So just keep that in mind. If you do pick up something on the outlet, it's sold as is, and you're getting a discount for that. But if you're, and then we also have it in the regular beading wire section too, if you don't want to chance the outlet and you just want to get the regular product. All right. So you want me to go ahead and put your hand cam on the main screen?
Yes, please.
Oh, and I also have to tell everyone I have a giveaway. So I'm going to pop that up in the banners on the bottom. You're going to use the hashtag pink tourmaline because we're going to give away a 10-foot spool of our pink tourmaline color Softflex wire during Abby's presentation.
That's one of my favorite colors of Softflex wire. Did you know that? Did you do that on purpose?
Well, Sarah picked it. Maybe she did know that. We
Oh.
put together a list because we just introduced a bundle of all the colors. We've never done that before, and we decided on each presentation we'll go through and give away one of the colors. So maybe she knew that.
Awesome. I hope so. I'd like to think that that's why. So rather than doing a full-on kit, this time we did a luxury seed bead mini mix for Softflex Company Customer Appreciation Week 2025. So it does not come with instructions, wire, or findings, but I'm going to show you how to put this cute little necklace together today. What it does come with is over 350 Miyuki seed beads and 15 4mm Czech fire polish crystals. So this little packet of beads is going to get us this beautiful necklace. I believe as of starting the stream today, we had 4 of these little mini mixes left. So if you go to beadplace.net and use coupon code CAW15, you can grab, if you're fast, you can grab one of the last 4 for 15% off. That coupon code is good through the end of the week on any regular price merchandise item on our website, not just the Grapevine Goddess luxury seed bead mixes. So what we're going to do is we are going to first start by cutting 28 inches of our Pro EconoFlex wire. Now, I do want to let you guys know that it is important to use size fine wire for this project. That way it can fit through the beads twice. If we're using medium, it might not work. So we're going to open this up and we are going to cut 28 inches. So it will still feel very drapey, very high quality. If you're used to working with the regular Softflex in fine, it just feels a little bit different. It feels like it has a little bit more body to it. And that's important for this project because we want the little circles here to be able to hold their shape while we're working. So I have just cut 28 inches and I'm going to remember to put my little spool cap back on so I don't lose anything. And what we're going to do is start by grabbing whichever color is your favorite of the Czech fire polish crystals. So for me, I think I'm going to pick this little green one here. I'm going to take a second. Everybody buckle your seatbelts. I'm going to bring you in just a little bit closer. Hopefully you'll be able to see this a little better. There we go. Okay. So we are going to start by stringing this little crystal, the 4mm Czech crystal, to the very bottom of your work. We don't yet need a bead stopper. What we're going to do is now pick up any color seed bead that you'd like on your right end of your wire, and you're going to take the left end of the wire through that seed bead in the opposite direction, like that. So if you are someone that remembers things by having a visual of it over again, I recommend taking a screenshot right here because this is what's going to help you remember the direction for how to go through the seed beads. So Our tail ends are coming out in opposite directions. So we're going to then pull both tail ends so that the lengths are the same. And we're going to essentially just work the little circle until it's smaller. Because this wire is a little bit stiffer than the regular fine soft flex, we might have to kind of work one wire at a time. But that trade-off is that we have these little circles that we're creating that kind of stand on their own. Hi, Debbie. The coupon code for beadplace.net is CAW15. And if for any reason you have trouble with that code, feel free to put your order through and we can fix it on the back end. Just send us a message. All right. And that goes for anybody who has already made a purchase today, not knowing the code. So if you want to take another screenshot here so that you can get a visual of what you're doing, you are welcome to do that. You can build your own kind of pictorial off of screenshots. That's what I like to do. All right, so now what we're going to do is take our right tail end and we are going to string 5 seed beads. And then we're going to pick up another fire polish. If you guys hear a lot of noise in the background, our store is open right now. So we have 5 seed beads and 1 fire polish. Trying to get it to focus, but there's a lot of little tiny things here. Okay, so then we're going to do another 5 seed beads on the right side. And you can be intentional about the color placement of these if you'd like. I like just having it be random, so I'm okay if there's 2 seed beads that are the same color that are next to one another. But you can do whatever makes sense to you. So this is what we have so far. Now, if you are careful, you do not need to put a bead stopper on the other or on the right side. I have a lot of cords and camera equipment around me right now. So I'm going to put a bead stopper on the side that I just did, and I'm going to move on to the other side. Judy asks, so this is stiff enough to not need a needle? Correct. This is your needle built in, which I love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, I'm working with the other side, the other tail end now. I've strung 5 seed beads. I'm going to pick another color of my 4mm fire polish. And I'm going to do another 5 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this is what we have so far. And if you'd like to take a screenshot now, you are welcome to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I will add another seed bead, just one more to this side. I'm going to pick another color of my fire polish crystals, and I am going to isolate that one seed bead that I just strung on by pulling it away from the other seed beads. And I'm going to go through that seed bead again with this same side, just like this. If you want to take a screenshot now, this would be a good time. And now what we're going to do is work that seed bead down to the others and gently pull the tail end. There's a little bit of movement here. So this is kind of a gradual kind of work one side, work the other side kind of thing. but we want to make sure that that seed bead is snugged down to the rest of them. So you'll want to learn which side to pull to make the wire do what you want. So you can make these little circles any size you'd like. I like them kind of daintier. I feel like it's going to have, I don't know, some visually pleasing proportions. Um, if I make them smaller, that's just my preference. But you can make them whatever size you want. Judy asks, what size seed beads are these? These are size 11s. I don't know why that's having such trouble focusing. I might be a little too close. There we go. And so now before moving on here, what I'm going to do is the same thing on the other side. So with this particular type of project, I like to work back and forth, back and forth. I don't do one side and then the other. I do a little bit on one side, a little bit on the other side. So I'm going to take my right side and pick up a seed bead. I'm going to let it fall down. Oh, let me move up so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to let it fall down. Then I'm going to pick up another fire polish bead. I'm going to string it down, and then I'm going to take the wire through that seed bead I just added in that same direction that I went through before. And I'm doing this left-handed right now, just so that you can see which direction is which. But if you want to swap it so that, you know, you're working with your right hand all the time, that's a-okay. That's probably what I would do if I wasn't trying to show you guys the different sides.
So Michelle is asking, size 11, is that the most common size? I think
Um,
it is.
I would say, yeah, if someone's referencing seed beads, chances are they're referencing size 11s, but there are all different sizes of seed beads. So it probably is 11s if that had to be my guess. I would guess 11s would be the most common size. But we are going to move on now. You will notice at this point that, you know, I can do this and none of the beads fall off. So we don't necessarily need a bead stopper from here on out. We can just work one side until we get it to this point. Some of you might be curious what I'm talking about when I say a bead stopper. It's just these little clamps that go on the end of your wire. There's a couple different versions of them. And you can grab them from us at beadplace.net. I'm sure Softlex Company has them. You can use what works best for you. Okay, so we are going to string 5 more of the little seed beads. Let me scooch these over so you guys can see what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'm going to pick another color of my check fire polish crystals. These are 4 millimeters. And I'm going to string that on. I'm going to do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to do that loop again. So we're not doing the loop every time we add a 4 millimeter. We're doing it every other time we add a 4 millimeter. So to add the loop again, we're going to do 1 size 11 seed bead. We're going to string that down, but not all the way. We're going to pick up a 4 millimeter fire polish crystal bead, string that down, and then again we're going to take the wire through the size 11 seed bead in the same direction that it came through before. Now before we tighten this loop all the way, what we're going to need to do is pull the seed bead down so that it meets the other ones, and then tighten. Now, as you're tightening, you might notice that if you're making a small loop, the 4 millimeter fire polish bead might want to kind of sit to one side. What you can do is you can make the loop a little bit bigger by pulling on the left side of the loop, pulling more slack into the loop, repositioning your 4 millimeter crystal, and then tightening it to match the size of the other ones. So this is what we have so far.
So
And
pretty. A lot of people are saying they just love that color in this mix. It's really pretty and love that bluish purple color. I agree. I feel like it's such a lovely combination.
thanks. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with this particular color combo. And I feel like a lot of times with purple and green, the most common color of metal that's used is copper. But I'm all about mixed metals. So I love being able to throw in this kind of golden, almost like hay or brass color from the Econoflex wire, because I think it perfectly sets off the kind of beige and green tones. That it, I don't know, it just sings, as they say.
It really does. I feel like I'm loving like the richness that it's bringing.
Thank you. All right. So at this point, I'm switching to the other side and I am going to figure out what color I want to use. I will probably go with this metallic kind of green gold. Oops, one too many seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, I'm good. So, what did Sarah and Kay do this morning?
Oh, they worked with Softlex Craft Wire, and Kay did some wrapping around. I think it was a marble, and she added turned it into like a pendant with leaves on it, so it looked like kind of looked like a pumpkin. I feel like at the end,
Neat.
and that's what I saw. Anyone else who's watching, did you see them make other things? Because I just popped on for part of the presentation. I wasn't there the whole time. So let me know in the comments what else they might have made while they were on together.
That's so cool. Kay is always a wire whiz. She's got
She
it.
really is. She's so comfortable with wire.
Yeah. One thing that I did want to mention is that when you're making these loops, it's important to position the wire to the outside of the necklace rather than the inside of the necklace. So, working with wire, a lot of times doing the kind of like positioning steps while you are making the bends or before you're making the bends, it will end up with a better finished result. That way, your loops aren't like all over the place. So, you
Oh,
want
that
right.
makes sense. They did spiral bead cages.
Cool.
That is cool. Thanks for letting us know. So we can all go back and check it out later. If you did happen to miss it, you can always catch the replay over on the Softlex Company YouTube channel for any of the videos, including the one we're watching right now, if you want to watch
Yeah.
it again.
One thing that just happened to me that I was going to try and remember to show you guys, and I'm glad it actually happened so that I wouldn't forget. Sometimes when you're pulling tension on one of these wires, it can make this loop before it smaller. So always be mindful of which direction you're pulling the loops because you don't want to misshapen any of the loops that are surrounding the one that you're working on. So it's as I said earlier, it's really important to be familiar with which the loop you need to pull in order to get your tension correct. So with this, what I'm going to do is keep working until I am happy with my little scallops. I could be done with my little scallops now, or I could keep working until I have used up all of my crystals. Oh man, thanks for having a real hard time focusing on these little itty bitty beads today. So I believe on this one we used 15. Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep. So 15. So you could keep working until you use up all of your 4 millimeters. And then what you can do to finish the rest of the necklace is to just string seed beads all the way, and it creates an adorable little dainty project. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that you can create a beautiful pair of earrings with this. So imagine that we didn't add these last scallops on. You could bring the wire up through a little fire polish at the top and crimp, and it would make a super cute earring. Totally up to you how many scallops you do on whatever project you do.
Oh,
But
I love that earring idea. If
thank you.
that would be very cool.
And they're so lightweight. I like using the wire itself to create dimension, and like visual balance, or not balance. What am I trying to say? Visual gravity, maybe. That way you don't have to have really heavy earrings to have really impactful earrings.
Yes.
Not everybody loves heavy earrings like I.
I know. I like all shapes and sizes. I actually do like kind of heavier because I tend to lose when they're too light. But I've gotten more in the habit of doing the little backings on them.
Yeah.
Because I've lost a lot of earrings over the years because they were so light.
Yeah. Notice fall off. Kristen, what are you working on?
Oh, I'm just playing with some beads from our So Charming kit that we introduced for Customer Appreciation Week. And in this kit, I made some earrings to match my necklace that I did yesterday
Yeah.
while we've been chatting. And then there was a Green Girl Studios piece in here, so I'm painting that right now.
Neat. That's
Yeah.
cool. Would you mind sharing with the audience your idea for using the charms incorporated in this design that I'm working?
Oh yeah, I know. We have a bunch of charms in our kit this time, and I was saying to Abby, with those little loops that she's creating, you can easily swap out, or in addition, if you want to add charms to the loops with the bead, or you can swap out the bead and just create little loops and add your charms to it and have them hanging down from this design.
I think that would be stinking sweet.
So cute,
Mm.
especially if you've got some teeny tiny charms. That would be really sweet.
Kristen, what kind of paints are you using?
I'm using the Ultimate Paint by Colorful Soul, and we do sell some colors on our website. So you can get like the rainbow of colors over at softluxcompany.com. And I
Neat.
should mention, if you shop with us, we have a deal going on for Customer Appreciation Week that if you spend $129 or more and you use the code CAWTREAT, CAWTREAT, you will get our little treat bag for free, which is a really cool pouch that has my artwork on it, and then it's stuffed in there with some goodies from Softlex Company for all of you.
That's
So
so cool.
thanks. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. I'll even let me just pop up the
Yeah.
graphic real fast before you move on here. Just in case everyone needs to see a visual, I don't have the actual pouch in my possession just yet, but we did a vote in the VIB studio group between, I think it was 4 different pieces of art, and this was the winning one.
That's cool.
So this it's so cute. I'm so excited to see what it looks like on a pouch.
Yeah.
I'm so used to seeing it in a painting, and so it's going to be fun to see it on an actual product. I always think that's like such a neat part of making things, is getting to see it get put on products that are useful.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
So
and
there's,
that a lot of times people think that art in itself needs to serve a function outside of itself. Um, and I don't necessarily agree with that, but when you can have two functions, just the art being beautiful on its own, and then being being a functional item like a yoga mat or a bag, I
mhm.
think that's super cool because then you can bring your art with you anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with your sentiment. I feel like it doesn't have to be useful. Art can just be what it is.
Yeah,
But it's also fun to have those things you do use every day have art on them.
definitely. So I do want to point out that what I had just mentioned was that it's important to make sure that the wire is set up properly, otherwise, or before you do the loop, otherwise, your loops might not fit where they're supposed to. I did not do a good job with this one when I was setting it up. So you can see that this one's kind of standing up, and that's an easy problem to fix. What I like to do is gently twist the wire as I push it back in. So you can see how I'm kind of twisting the wire down as I push it back in. And that's going to force it to behave. So just tell the wire what to do and it'll do what you want it to do. You just have to know how to make it behave. So I kind of twist as I push the wire in and then hold it as I pull it into position. And then you, of course, want to make sure that your tension is correct. So I'm just going in and positioning that so that the seed bead is down next to the other ones. Otherwise, your loops, if you don't have tight tension, not necessarily tight tension, but if you don't have the correct tension, your loops will kind of go wonky, like they'll sit up all funny, and they will also change in size. So you can see when I was messing with this one, I made this guy a little too tight. So an easy fix is to just pull that back into position, and then we're balanced again.
What a good tip. I'm glad that you did that because it's sometimes nice to be able to show something that would possibly happen to one of you out there when you're putting it together.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times we get down on ourselves whenever we make mistakes, but how else would you learn if not to make a mistake or see someone else make a mistake that then you would know how to identify it and know what to do to fix it. So I think mistakes are a very important part of the learning process because they also
Mis-
allow for.
Mistakes are knowledge, aren't they? You always remember, I feel like for me, I always remember the things that I made a mistake and had to fix more than if I just got it right the first time.
Right. Yeah. And I also think that mistakes can kind of allow creativity to bloom and ingenuity. And I think that some of my best designs have come from me making a mistake on something and then being like, oh, I kind of like that. So
Right.
I'm going to keep doing
or
it.
or whatever vision you had in your head just isn't quite
Yeah.
turning out with your hands, and you have to make that pivot, and then you pivot into something that you may even like even better, which is
Right.
always exciting.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Michelle is asking about the hashtag. Michelle, we have a giveaway going on. If you use the hashtag pink tourmaline, all one word, it will enter you into that giveaway and we'll choose a winner at the end of the presentation. You must be here at the end to win when we call your name, and you just have to put it in once. The system will actually kick out duplicates, so you just need to get it in there the one time.
Awesome. So I have just done my last little section with my fire polish beads here. You can see I've done my loops. I have 7 loops, and then I have finished with the fire polish beads that are strung on the body of the necklace itself. And now what I can do is just evenly string the rest of my seed beads on the ends of my soft flex econo flex wire until I am happy with the length. Um, this particular type of necklace, I feel like does well in a kind of like a shorter length. So with this, you can make a cute choker. You can make a kind of a, I would say the longest that it'll behave would be like a mid chest kind of necklace, but feel free to experiment and do what works best for you. So through the magic of movie magic, is that what we call it? TV magic, live stream.
Yes,
I,
Jack.
I have sprung forward in time and now have a fully strung necklace. And so, what I'm going to do is show you guys how to finish it off. So, I will have a bead stopper on one side of my wire, and I'm going to take a 2x2 crimp tube, and I'm using copper for my findings just because I think that that's a pretty color combination. And like I said earlier, I like doing mixed metal, but you can do whatever you want on this. So I'm stringing my crimp tube down onto the wire, and then I'm going to grab the clasp. I'm going to go through the clasp, and I'm going to go back down through the crimp tube. Now, a lot of times when we're stringing, we want to make sure to pull all of the slack out, and we can get kind of almost aggressive with the tension pulling. That is not what we want to do for this, because what will happen if we pull too much of that slack out is our loops will get too small. So this end loop will just get smaller and smaller. So we want to be very careful with the amount of tension that we leave in our design. We want some flexibility, but we don't want the wire to show. So just kind of play with it a little bit, make sure you're happy with it, and then we can go in and crimp it. And if a little bit of the wire shows, no big deal, because the wire's pretty. um,
Right?
that you do want to make sure is that you're not crushing any of the seed beads on the end whenever you're crimping. So just be careful, crimp all the way around. And then what I like to do with this particular kind of design, just so that it stays dainty at the end, I will try to tuck the tail end down one or two, or I'm sorry, 2 to 3 beads, but it's not something that you really want to tuck down super far. Like I feel like a lot of times we would tuck the tail end down as far as it'll go, but then it gets kind of stiff. So we lose movement, especially with a dainty design like this. It's just not the play. So as long as your crimp is secure, what you can do, look, isn't that cool? The magic crimper turns it into, let me put my finger behind it so you can see.
So pretty.
So, yeah. So after your crimp is secure, what we can do is trim the tail end off just so that it'll tuck down a couple beads and tuck it. Now, if you're concerned, like let's say your tension is a little loose, if you're concerned that that tail end will pop out, you can just cut the tail end off close to the crimp. A lot of times, experts will tell you not to do that. And I often will say, don't do that. But in this case, because the project is so light, it's not going to, I don't know, it's not going to be an issue, in my opinion. What's your opinion, Kristen? Are you anti cut the tail end too short, or
I was just going to say we actually do cut the tail end short most of the time.
okay,
We very rarely do I actually go back down through the bead.
okay,
I do do it a little more often now if I want it for like laying purposes. You know, just like sometimes you just want it to kind of, I don't know, go through the bead just to kind of lay flatter, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
But I was always taught with Softlex Company to just cut it right off. As long as you're crimping it properly and securely, it should be totally fine. And for majority of my pieces that I've created, I've just cut it right off.
That's so interesting because you and I have both been in the industry for like a very, very long time. And the fact that we don't like naturally do the same thing, just, I don't know. That's so interesting to me. But that's cool to know that you don't have issues with that. I was always told, so when we first opened the store, this was before magical crimpers existed, and we would use the standard, like the flat crimper, which in my opinion is not quite as comfortable as a finish as the magic crimper. But I was always told that if you didn't leave a little bit of a tail end, if you caught your jewelry on something, it could like slip through the crimp. But I've never had that happen. So maybe that's just a myth. I don't know.
And I will say, like, I have, because we didn't have a magical crimper when I started. So I did just start with the regular crimper, and I still would just cut it off right at the crimp. But when I use my regular crimper, I use the crimper in the back, and then I use the rounder in the front. And
Mhm.
then I go around without a rounder a few more times to really cinch it in. And I don't
Oh,
know that everyone was always taught that. I
yeah.
think some people were just taught one squeeze on the back, one squeeze on the front, and you're done.
Yeah.
But really, if you keep going around on that rounder, you like tighten it onto the nylon, and the metal gets a little softer, and kind of it just gets more secure. And
And
so I've always done it that way, and cut it right off.
oh, that's so cool. Have you ever had an issue with like it being scratchy? Or you cut it so close that it's not scratchy at all?
Yes, occasionally it could be scratchy, and that is where the crimp cover would usually come into play.
Gotcha.
If something ended up being a little scratchy, I would try and put a crimp cover on it. But those were never really my friend.
Yeah. Same. I feel like the only time I use crimp covers is when I've tied a knot in stretch bracelets that are like, I don't know, any kind of knotted thing, and I don't like the way it looks. Or if I accidentally pop a bead and I need to fill in a missing spot, then I will fight a crimp or a crimp cover and try and
Right.
finagle it into the
I've
middle.
seen you do that. I've never tried it on the stretch. That's cool. Do
Yeah.
you do it on the like more fabricy stretch or any of them?
I don't like the fabricy stretch stuff.
Okay. I've never tried. I never really worked with it.
Yeah, I typically try to just use Stretch Magic if I can because I like how it's a little bit more abrasion resistant. However, for like lightweight things or things I like to stretch a lot, the Opalon is my personal preference for like let's say like the Tila bracelets. If I was to make a necklace with the the Tilas, I would put it on Opalon because it stretches further. But the
Right.
downside of the Opalon is that it'll kind of shred. So I always weigh my options and okay, how far does this have to stretch? And how sharp are these beads? So,
Right, totally. I totally get that. That's why there's so many options
yeah,
for products, right? Because there's always like the perfect thing for the perfect thing, whatever you're trying to accomplish. And sometimes it's one way and sometimes it's another way.
yeah. I saw a comment a minute ago. The comments are flying through, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to catch the person's name, but someone asked what is a magical crimper. I did want to take a minute to just show this real quick. Many, many years ago, I don't know, probably over 15 years ago, I was at a bead show and Sarah, Softlex girl herself, um,
Mhm.
she was doing demonstration of the magical crimper, and we were like, no way, no way can a crimper turn my little crimp tube into a beautiful little ball, but it can. And not only is it prettier, but in my opinion, it's more secure and it's more comfortable as well. It saves you money because you don't have to cover the crimp with a crimp cover. But essentially, what is happening is you are crimping your standard 2x2 crimp tube with this tool, and you, as you work around, it turns it into a little ball. So this is what I do on all of my crimped jewelry. You can just crimp directly into your clasp, no need for extra things. And I've had this bracelet on for years and it is secure, like super secure. So they're relatively affordable. You can get them from Softflex, you can get them from us, you can get them from, I'm sure, all over the place, but we would, of course, prefer if you would support our businesses. But this, it's a lot of times we call it around here the purple crimper.
Mhm.
uh, but they are just the way of crimping. I feel like they kind of took over the market. And
I agree. I mean, it's my favorite way. I did use the regular crimper with the extreme wire this week, only because different materials have different ways of being manufactured, and I felt
Mhm.
like I wanted the old school way on that to make sure it was really secure.
Yeah.
Um, because sometimes it could be a little slippery. Our traditional sterling silver and gold extreme, which
Yeah.
is different than the Econoflex. I feel like the Econoflex grabs a hold of it a little bit better.
Hmm.
So that's why it's nice to have them both, because you never know. But I use that magical crimper like 99% of the time. I love it. Like Abby says, it's so pretty and it's so secure. And once you get a hang of it, I just find it to be so easy to use. And I love that you carry it too. And Abby, do you want to let them know of that coupon code you've got one more time over at
Yeah.
your shop?
So it's CAW15 for 15% off now through Saturday. And thank you. Is that Thomas who's putting that in the chat, or is that you?
That's Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. uh, So yeah, that's 15% off anything, not just the Magical Crimper, not just the Grapevine Goddess. And honestly, I have not gotten a little notification yet that the Grapevine Goddess luxury seed bead mix is sold out yet. So chances are there's still a few left if you want to grab this particular color mix. Oh yeah, it's still available. Must be just a few left. So thank you to those of you that have made purchases so far of this kit. There's still time and you can get it for 15% off.
I was taking a little peek at your new section, and I saw that you also have another little mix that is, I think, a fall one that you just introduced.
I am sure that is true.
It looks really, really pretty. It looks like you just put a bunch of seed beads up, actually. So
Oh
it looks like
yeah,
there's a whole
you
new slew.
Becky is just constantly adding stuff to the website. We get new stuff here at the bead place, like in our brick and mortar shop, all the time. And as we like get new items and as we restock items, Becky is constantly working from home at adding items to the website. Oh, I see which one you're talking about, the Fallen Leaves Luxury Sea Bead Mix. So
Yes.
a we do a once a month subscription box that gets mailed out. It's called the monthly fun pack, and each month it is a different theme. We have been doing seed bead mixes that kind of go along with, so they're included in the subscription box, and then we oftentimes have extra that are available for sale. So it kind of fits along with the colors that are used in the current theme. So a lot of people have really been into those monthly mixes, and so we have lately been making a handful more. And I feel like that color mix would be really pretty with this design too. Like you could use either more 4mm fire polish or just any kind of smaller bead or charm that you have at home, and replicate this design with a number of different colorways.
Like if you had some little leaf charms, oh
Oh,
my gosh, that would be so cute.
definitely. Yeah. We
It's got a little bit of a Halloween vibe too with the purple and the orange. So you can kind of go in a Halloween direction or you can go in a fall direction depending on what you fancy.
yeah. Do you guys sell chain, Kristen? Does Softlex sell chain? Okay.
No, no, we've only had it like occasionally here and there, but really, really infrequently. It's not a staple. Do you guys sell it as on the regular?
We do. We have lots and lots of chain styles. And when you mentioned little leaves, I was thinking of this particular chain style. I can't think of the code for it off the top of my head, but it's like a oval cable chain that has these cute little leaf stampings on it.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
I've
wouldn't
seen
that be
it.
so cute? So just like cut off those leaves and use those on the little loops. Oh, that would be darling.
So cute. And then Lori is saying that your fun pack is awesome. She loves it.
Thank you. Oh,
So
thank
do you guys do that every month, the fun
We
pack?
do. We do. Yeah. So it is typically it mails out the week before the like the month that it is. So we mail out the like the last week of the previous month and then the second week of whatever month it is. We do a live stream on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central, opening the box, talking about what's in it, and then making stuff with it. And then we continue that the next day on Thursday at noon Central, finishing projects or starting new ones. And then we have a Facebook group called the Bead Place Facebook group. Very creative name, I know. Where
Makes it easy to remember, though. I appreciate that.
so people share pictures of what they make with the monthly fun packs. And then we post pictures of what we've made during the streams. So it's a lot of fun.
That is awesome. And can they buy the fun pack right on your website or is there a separate place?
Yep, right on our website. And there's two different ways to go about it. You can either subscribe for monthly payments and you save $5 a month when you go about it that way, or you can just buy the next month's box and it just gets shipped out whenever the next one ships out. So
Very cool. I love that so much. And I'm glad a few of you are already receiving those fun packs and really enjoying them and shared that with us in the comments. It's nice to hear that, you've got some fun pack fans hanging out with us at the moment. All right. So last chance to enter the giveaway, pink tourmaline. If you haven't gotten that in yet, go ahead and add that to the comment section and we're going to pick a winner in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and flash the Customer Appreciation Week treat bag offer one more time. You can get this with your order of $129 or more when you use that code CAWTREAT. It doesn't apply with any other order discounts, so please make sure you're not logged in and you check out as a guest if you do normally have order discounts and you want to take advantage of this deal. It ends on Tuesday, September 23rd, or while supplies last. And I did see someone ask where they can get the magical crimper. You can get it with us at Softlex Company, but you can also go to beadplace.net and get it over there. As well as check out some chain. And I think someone was asking about stretch cord. I know we use Stretch Magic at Softlex Company. That's what we've always used. But Abby had mentioned it's called Opaline.
Opaline, yeah.
Opaline.
We carry Opaline as well as the Mayuki stretch cord. And Luna bracelets too. That's a whole nother conversation for
a whole nother thing. Yeah, the Luna bracelets. So there's a few options. Which one is the best, most durable? I'm not sure. I think I've always been happy with the Stretch Magic. It's what we've carried and used for years. So it's been something that we found to be a really great product. But I know that same thing for Abby. She's going to choose things that she's comfortable with and she likes using. So between the two of us, those are some ones I guess you can try and see if they're to your liking.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let me just pop up the schedule and then we'll choose our winner. So after us today, we've got Sarah Ayler coming back at 1 p.m. Pacific time for a Softlex Company video using our So Charming kit. And we do have some of those kits left, so you can grab one of those if you haven't picked it up yet. And then here's our schedule for the rest of the week. So if you missed anybody, you've got Beads to Live By, you've got my video, and you've got Kay that are all already up on the YouTube channel that you can watch the replays on. And this one will be up as soon as we're done here for replay. And then everybody else is coming up this week. We're going to be live at 9 a.m., at 11 a.m., and at 1 p.m. Pacific time every day. So just set your alarm for those times and pop over and something will be happening. All right, let's bring in our giveaway and see who our winner is for the pink tourmaline Softlex beading wire color, Abby's favorite color, which Sarah probably did know when she picked out which color to give away.
Congrats.
Oh, our friend Terry. Hooray, hooray. Are you still here, Terry? Please let us know in the comments. Carolyn says, your necklace is beautiful, Abby. I agree. It's really, really sweet. And I think it's a technique that you can use in multiple different ways. And this is just such a wonderful way to give it a try and do so with such a beautiful mix that they put together for you.
Thank you.
Hooray, Terry. Terry is here. Congratulations. Please go ahead and email us at info@softlexcompany.com. Let us know your shipping information and we will get your prize out to you.
Yay.
Awesome. Stay tuned for another giveaway on the next video today. We're going to be doing beading wire giveaways all week long. And then I think we're going to do, we did a kit giveaway on the first video on the kickoff, and I think we're going to do a kit giveaway on the after party. So stay tuned for all of that. And please celebrate with us all week. Watch all the videos, share them with your friends so that we can get more eyeballs on it. Like them, heart them, subscribe to all of our channels. And that's like wonderful ways that you can support us all, even without spending a penny. And also shop from us. So if you can shop and you're able to shop, please come support our small businesses this week. And thank you so much for sharing your time and your talents with us today and always, Abby.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's so sweet.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody that I didn't mention?
Not that I can think of. I think you covered it all. You've been a wonderful host, as always.
Thank you. Hostess with the mostest. My mama taught me well. I mean, I'm not very good with platters of food or, setting the table, but that's where she excels. So she taught me just the hostess vibe, I think.
Well, she did good.
She did good on that front, but putting it all together in like an actual physical way, I don't know that I got those chops. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. Catch you on the next video in just an hour from now. Go take a break and get yourself something to drink, a snack, and come on back in just an hour. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.